Welcome to the NOFSRL. For the first time this year, the Trinity River Cup Series will turn right. Welcome everyone to the Willow Springs International Raceway here in Rosamond, California, in the middle of the Mojave Desert. We are here for race number 16 of 26 in Season 4 of the NOFSRL Trinity River Cup Series. 25 laps here around this 2.5 mile road course in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix. Coming into this race, the championship is an absolute runaway as far as the points lead goes, but second on back, it's a barn burner right now. It's anybody's race. Kyle McLeese leads the point standings with 463 points towards the championship. He is 86 points ahead of Trey Wright, 98 points ahead of last week's winner Kanan Biller, who is now a two-time winner this season. Nicholas Samadillo, who starts on the pole today, is 99 points behind Kyle McLeese. Elijah Gordon, 101 points back. Will Parrish, 105 points back. Marty Sakala is 106 points back. Ryan Durrani and Alejandro Cruz Jr. are 112 points back. Blake Parker rounds out the top 10, being 113 points back from Kyle McLeese. It's going to be a fun one here, no doubt, at the Willow Springs International Raceway. So let's go down trackside. We'll get you a starting lineup so we can get this show on the road. And the engines will come to life here at Willow Springs. 40 going to roll off the pit road. It's Nicholas Samadillo on the pole position. They're starting alongside Caleb Rose. Samadillo, winner at Martinsville earlier this year. Rose still looking for that ever-elusive first career win. In row number 2, we find defending series champion Trey Smith, who won in one of the Watkins Glen races in the doubleheader 1 year ago, starting alongside the 27 of Roberta Crown Jr. In row number 3, we find Chase Harrison, the 23, who won at Fontana earlier this year, starting alongside the Darlington winner, Ace Garcia. In row number 4, we find Texas winner, Mitchell Henderson, starting alongside dual number 1 winner in Daytona Speedweeks earlier this season. It was Thomas Troxel there, who starts in the 8th position, looking to finally get a first points-paying win, or just a good run in general here in the Trinity River Cup Series. Rounding out the top 10, we find Talladega winner Colin Teagan in 97. He starts alongside the Richmond winner, Christopher Alphabee. We had 2 races here at Willow Springs 1 year ago. The first one in the spring, won by Kanan Biller there, the 81, starting from the midfield to see if he could get his way up to the front and get another win here at the fastest road in the West. Starting up further, though, Trey Wright, the one who won the second Willow Springs race. He won it in September when it was very, very hot outside. In the spring, it was a little cooler with cloudy conditions going on, but Trey Wright won in the heat. He's starting a little deeper in the field. Maybe he could pull some chicanery and get up to the front. We'll have to see how it goes here as the pace car is getting ready to go down the pit road, and 40 about to be set free here at the fastest road in the West, ready to get the green flag here at Willow Springs, and the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix is green. Let's get this show on the road. Samadillo controls the start well. Rose trying to come back on the inside, though. Roberto Crown Jr. trying to push through as well there in car 27. 2x2 up front. Rose down to the inside of Samadillo going through 3. Now up by Budweiser Balcony. The Taco Bell turn 4. Caleb Rose will move to the lead ahead of Samadeo. Samadeo's going to have to worry about Roberto Crown Jr. now heading down into turn number 5. Now out of 5 and up to turn number 6. He slips backwards a little bit, trying to hold on. Through Wing's leg and into the sweeper. Trey Smith tried to take him 3 wide there. Thought better if it stays in behind the 27. And it'll push the 27 of Roberto Crown Jr. around Samadeo. And now Smith will go for second on Crown. Rounding turn number 9 and onto the front straightaway. That's how quickly you can go around Willow Springs International Raceway. Trouble deep in the field. Eric Monaco around and a whole bunch of others. Joey Hightower, Justin Zidell. John Andrews got shoved down the pit road, but Zidell looks to be the worst off. He's got a bunch of front-end damage there. No cautions here on the road courses, of course, so we'll stay green. But that is a terrible, terrible break for Justin Zidell, the epitome of Pacific Hamel Racing's luck in the TRCS this year, at least for the most part. Zidell coming into this race in 31st in the standings. This is not how he wanted his Willow Springs race to go here this afternoon. Already going to have to come down to pit road for repairs here in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix at Willow Springs. Nicholas Samadeo, the pole sitter, has fallen back to 4th position. Still very much up in the lead battle, as well the leaders spread out for now, but they should accordion together. They might accordion together the later we get into this run. Here's Dale Lightning going after Thomas Troxel there. That is for, I believe, 6th on the racetrack. It'll actually be for 7th as Chase Harris got around Thomas Troxel as well. Cars still slipping and sliding coming out of turn number 9. Onto the main straightaway. They held on to it better this time than they did the last time through. Thank goodness for that. But Caleb Rose leads the way. Trey Smith closing in ever so slightly through the rabbit's ear. The big, wide, sweeping turn 2. Not as sweeping as turn 8, but it is still a very, very wide corner. Up the hill through turn 3 and now backwards to the right through Taco Bell turn 4. Now back down the hill into turn number 5. Go by Monroe Ridge in a second. Side by side for 5th between Ace Garcia and Chase Harris. Kyle McLeese going after Thomas Troxel now. Kyle McLeese started back a little further in the field, and he has worked his way up to battle side by side with Thomas Troxel. This is for the 8th position on the racetrack. Chase Harris looks like he's going to get around Ace Garcia, and McLeese is going to get around Troxel. Troxel, could he slide back to the inside going through turn number 9? This is a heavier braking zone here. He won't, but Brock Nelson, excellent slide job there to get around the 97 of Colin Teague. On to lap number 3 we go. Thomas Troxel taking a look to the inside of Colin McLeese, headed off into turn number 1. Not close enough to get to the inside, though. Teague now side by side with Mitchell Collins as Collins gets a little physical there with the 97. Collins in 12th right now, about to slip to 13th if Brock Nelson gets around that 43. Now checking back in up front, Caleb Rose had about a 1 second lead at the line the last time through. Smith second, Crown third, as behind, side by side between Dale Lightning and Ace Garcia. That's for 6th on the racetrack. Give it to Dale Lightning as they come out of Taco Bell turn 4. And behind, 3 wide, heading down into turn number 5. Collins, Nelson, and Alpha Beat going at it there. That, I believe, is for 12th on the racetrack. Maybe 13th. But give it to Collins. Whatever position it is, give it to Mitchell Collins. He pulls ahead. And Alphabet looks like is going to be the benefactor in the battle between him and Brock Nelson. Checking back in up front, it is still Caleb Rose. He has led all the laps so far here in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix. See what the gap is. It's closed in a little bit. Just a little over 3/4 second. As here's last fall's winner here at Willow Springs, Trey Wright going after Mitchell Henderson. That's for 16th on the racetrack. Henderson looks like he's going to hold on to it for the time being, and Priya McShane's going to follow the 88 through as well, but is going to wiggle Henderson, and down to the inside, here comes Priya. Through turn number 3, Priya slides wide. Now through turn number 4, McShane on the inside trying to slide on by the 88. Looks as though she will. And Henderson sideways heading down the hill into turn number 5. Holds on to it. A very interesting start to this race, no doubt. Trey Smith closing in little by little on Caleb Rose. We'll see if he can contend for the lead here. They slow down a little bit. They get through turn 9 well down the front straightaway. I reckon that's going to be within a half a second now. Kyle McLeese going after Ace Garcia behind as well. Within half a second indeed, 0.45. As Thibodeau is going to come down the pit road in car 32, potentially to get that damage hammered out on the left-hand side. Look through the rest of the field here. Side by side, Alex Lozano on Trey Wright. Won this race in the fall last season. Wright slips backwards even more. Scott Upton in the 78. They're going to get by to move Trey Wright back to the 20th position. Upton and Wright are teammates, so playing reasonably nicely with each other, as Thompson and Biller are not, though. Back there for 21st, side by side. Thompson going to hold on to the position ahead of the 81, as Christian Vargas going to follow through. So we check back in up front as you see Collins and Cologne back there, side by side for 11th. A battle for 3rd, looking like it's about to manifest between Roberto Crown Jr. and Nicholas Samadillo. Samadillo's going to slide to the inside. Crown did not get through turn 9 well at all. And we'll see if Samadillo's going to cross to the inside, heading off into 1. Yes, he will. Heading off into turn number 1. Samadillo on the low line, trying to get around that 27. Not able to stick it just yet. We'll see if he can cross to the inside, going through the rabbit's ear. And he's going to try. He throws it in there. But not enough to get to the inside of that 27. Oh, he's almost turned him. Now trying the inside of turn number 3. Harrison Lightning right there behind the 98. Harris going to fire it to the inside of Samadillo. Samadillo drives it in deep in turn 4. This looks like Trey Smith has caught Caleb Rose for the lead. Here's Harris taking a big dive on Samadillo, going into turn number 5. This is for 4th place on the racetrack, and it looks like Harris is going to have it. Down the straightaway into the sweeper. Going to want to be on the right side going through this turn. And indeed, Harris will move to the 4th position, just ahead of Nicholas Samadillo. We'll see if Samadillo can maybe cross over back to the inside. Not quite. So things reasonably spreading out and calming down as far as the... Oh my goodness, teammates get together just as I say that. William Brock and Priya McShane going at it there for 15th and 16th. William Brock will get around Priya McShane. Boy, that almost got ugly between Ruby Motorsport teammates. My goodness. Here's Lozano going to the inside of Mitchell Henderson. That is for 17th on the racetrack. As they go up the hill into Taco Bell turn number 4 by Budweiser Balcony. Down the hill they'll go into turn number 5. We're on lap number 8 right now, by the way, so we are within 5 laps of the first and, well, the only pit cycle of the race, really. We've seen some cars come down already. Some that got damaged in that earlier jam session coming out of turn number 9. But we are getting closer and closer to seeing the one and only pit cycle of the race for those that didn't already come down. So the lead cars that weren't back in that melee. Expect it to be from lap 12 to about lap 15. And I know when I say lap 12, you mean, well, that's not even really halfway, so would they only be able to make it to lap 24? No, this is not going to be like a Road America situation last year. They will be able to make it to the end by lap 25 if they come down at the end of lap number 12. So that is likely what's going to take place when we get to this cycle. Smith, though, continues to hound the 15 of Caleb Rose. If he is close enough to that 15, Smith might be able to leapfrog Rose when it does come time to do that pit cycle. So we'll have to see whether the defending series champions crew can cook up here in just a few laps. The points leader update, Kyle McLeese sits in the 8th position. He has continued to move up through the field. Started outside the top 10. He's in 8th right now. Nicholas Samadio, 4th in points, sits 5th on the racetrack. Trey Wright sits 20th on the racetrack. Kanan Biller in the 81, who is 3rd in points coming in, sits 21st on the racetrack. So Kyle McLeese looks like he might increase his points lead even further. And Nicholas Samadio might leapfrog Kanan Biller and Trey Wright here in the standings if this thing stays the way it is. That's a 15 position difference, I think, between Samadio and Wright. And Wright, I think, actually slipped backwards a little more. What in the world happened to Trey Wright? He slipped to 33rd. Did he go off? No, he's just come down the pit road. Okay. As Hightower, I think, also came down the pit road a little early. Yes, he did. So he's about a minute off the pace now. Eric Monaco is 7 laps down. He came down for multiple repairs. He was the one that got spun around. I didn't see much damage on that 25, but I guess he's out of the race. Maybe he had some sort of a mechanical failure. Eric Monaco, I don't see him on the racetrack, so I guess he is out of the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix here at Willow Springs. On to lap number 11 we go. 0.4 of a second the difference between Rose and Smith for the race lead. Smith stays steadily behind Rose, not really gaining anything, not really losing anything through the Rabbit's Ear. Now up through turn 3 and over to turn 4. Rose staying steady. Of course, the pace slowing up. With everyone's tires being worn, we're getting closer and closer to the pit cycle. Down the hill, they'll come into turn number 5. Looks to be mostly, if not completely, single file through the field. It does appear everyone is just taking it easy, looking to get to the cycle. Through turn 8, now through turn 9, Smith closing in a little bit on Rose. As looks like a battle is about to manifest between Crown and Harris. And indeed, Harris down to the inside of Crown coming out of the corner. He's going to cross to the other side as they head off into turn number 1. He's close enough to make the move, but will he? Into turn number 1, Harris is going to take a look, but won't get down to the inside of the 27 through turn 1. Will he have a better chance going through turn number 2? He's taking a look. Crown's a little sideways going through the corner. Harris will stay in behind that 27, though. So all things reasonably calm, except here. Here's Brock Nelson going after Stephen Colon. That's for 12th position on the racetrack. Nelson's going to have the advantage going up the hill and into turn number 4. Colon's going to fire it in on the outside, but Nelson will clear that 99. Lap 12 here at Willow Springs. For those just tuning in, Caleb Rose has led all the laps so far. Points leader Kyle McLeese sits in the 8th position on the racetrack. Trey Wright in the 95, who comes in second in the points, sits 36th on the racetrack. Kane and Biller sits deeper in the field, 20th, as we see pit cycles happening right now. Sam Adio's going to stay out an extra lap. Kyle McLeese comes down. Ace Garcia stays out an extra lap. And those two are not going to be the only ones. It looks like it's split about 50-50 right now. Durrani's going to come down. Williams, Parrish, and Oskin going to come down. So looks like more stayed out than came in, at least this time through. But a huge chunk of cars that come down the pit road in the first swath of the pit cycle here, and it kicked off right at the end of lap 12, like we said. So Sam Adio now leads the way by about 2 seconds ahead of Ace Garcia. Let's see who comes off the pit road first. Of course, Caleb Rose. Caleb Rose ahead of Smith. Andrews did not just come down the pit road. Andrews is actually, the last time through, I don't actually see him on the standings here. He's 27th. Okay, so maybe he did already come down the pit road earlier. I think he had some damage from the incident we saw early on in the race, and had fallen deeper in the field, so he'll stay out for a little while longer, but may come down a little later on as Sam Adio now comes down. Garcia's going to come down, and Nelson is going to be sideways on entry, but he'll make it into the pits. And it looks like everyone else except Blake Parker. Okay, never mind. Blake Parker stays out from 18th on the racetrack, so it looks like he'll move into the race lead, at least for the moment. And he looks like that Parker will be the last driver that needs to come down into the pits. Here's Rose coming across the line. Keegan Thompson dives into the pit area. As well, Kyle McLeese is going to leapfrog Nicholas Samadio. So Samadio stayed out an extra lap, and it's going to cost him any gain on Kyle McLeese once again. Kyle McLeese looks to be running up in the top 10. He has been up in the top 10 pretty much all race long, even though he started outside the top 10. He's been running comfortably in the 8th position. Blake Parker, of course, still needs to come down the pit road, so it'll be Rose, Smith, Andrews for the moment, but he still needs to come down the pit road again. Crown, Lightning, Harris, McLeese, as Crown is going to get around John Andrews there. And that was an excellent dive bomb, by the way, going into turn number 5. As Lightning's going to get to the inside of that JBL 5 as well. Remember, he's on older tires than everyone else. As Blake Parker does come down the pit road, and Caleb Rose is going to retake the lead here at Willow Springs. Lightning shoves Crown wide coming out of turn number 9, and Andrews does come down the pit road. Here's Harris taking a dive on Roberto Crown Jr., heading off into turn number 1. That is for 4th on the racetrack, and for the moment, give it to Chase Harris, but Crown's going to come back, going through Rabbit's Ear. And he's going to take the position back and hold on ahead of Valvoline 23. Nicholas Samadio runs 7th. McLeese up to 6th. Troxel in the 8th position. Garcia 9th. Colin Teague, for the moment, rounds out the top 10. And how about the gain by Trey Wright? Of course, I think he pit a little earlier on. We'll see if he has to come down the pit road again. We'll see if he makes it to the end of this race. But not too long ago, he was back in the 36th position. And maybe pitting earlier on. If he doesn't have to again, we'll have to see if it works out for Trey Wright. It would definitely mean he doesn't lose as many points as he would have if he'd have been back in 36th, because, well, McLeese is running 6th now, so it would have been an even bigger gain for the driver of that 59 as far as the championship points goes. It's possible that McLeese, if Wright has to come down again, with Biller already running deeper in the field, he's 23rd right now. as William Brock appears to be back down the pit road there. Mitchell Collins, actually, in the 43 down the pit road. Wonder what went on with that 43. He is into the pit area. Salmon Oskin with damage there. It's like he may have got into someone. Wonder if that had anything to do with Collins. It's down the hill into turn number 5 here on lap 16. Just under 10 laps to go here at the Willow Springs International Raceway. Crown closing up to the backside of Dale Lightning. That is the battle for third on the racetrack right now. As another battle manifesting deeper in the field for 16th, Lozano and McShane going after it. McShane in the 0, Lozano in the 4. Through turn number 8, here comes McShane trying to take a dive on the 4 of Lozano. And not for the moment having any luck. Not yet. Back up to the front as Caleb Rose continues to lead the way. It was about 0.8 of a second the difference at the line this time through. Through Rabbit's Ear. On a short shoot over to turn number 3. Harris is going after Roberto Crown Jr. again. Up by Budweiser Balcony and Taco Bell turn 4. Here's Harris going to the inside of Crown. He's taking a look, heading down the hill into turn number 5. Got into that 27 a little bit. Now up the hill by Monroe Ridge. He is not going to have a gained position there. So Crown will stay in 4th. Harris will stay in 5th, at least for the moment. As we're coming around for 8 laps to go here at Willow Springs. The lead gap now about 0.9 of a second between Caleb Rose and Trey Smith. Rose searching for his first career victory in this series. In 19th position in the championship points as it stands coming in. Not looking to really gain anything on Kyle McLeese for the moment, but looking to just finally get his first career win. He's come so close so many times this year. His teammate Ace Garcia, although not having a great season, has already actually won a race. He won at Darlington. So Rose would like to join Ace Garcia in that regard. Thomas Troxel running up in the top 10 as well in the 16. Great run for Troxel coming in here with all the bad luck he has had. He comes in 40th in the standings, ahead of, or not ahead of, well, just one ahead of one driver, but it was a one-off driver. Brad Stover 1 week ago making a one-off start at Gateway. But behind Ethan Lewis by 16 points coming in is Thomas Troxel. Lewis, the winner of the Daytona 500, has only had one top 5 since then, which was his only other top 10. Troxel has had one top 5 but 3 top 10s. It's just how bad his bad races have been. His teammate Rose leads the way. Troxel still in the 8th position. Garcia actually in 9th. This is going to be a great day for Team Velocestar if things stay the way they are. All 3 cars up in the top 10. Trey Smith trying to close in on Rose. Down the back stretch into turn number 8. Through the sweeper and into turn number 9. Rose trying to keep it steady. Smith's trying to close in, hoping for Rose to make a mistake. They both stayed pretty smooth. Thibodeau back down into the pits in the 32 as the gap for the lead now down to 0.4 of a second, 42 100ths. Here's Harris going after Roberto Crown Jr. again for 4th. As Kyle McLeese closes in on this battle, he's looking to sneak his way up into the top 5. Crown holds on ahead of the 23. As McLeese actually runs a little wide coming out of turn number 2. So he won't close in on Harris enough for the moment to make a move on that 23. But Harris has got to be losing patience with Roberto Crown Jr. here. He has tried on 4 separate occasions now on this green flag run, or on this run since the pit cycle, to get around that 27 and has not been able to. Samadillo actually closing in on Kyle McLeese a little bit there. These guys used to be the only 2 atop the championship that were even remotely close to each other, but now McLeese has pulled away to 99 points ahead of Nicholas Samadillo. Samadillo's 4th in the championship standings. McLeese comes in 86 points ahead of Trey Wright in the 95. Trey Wright in the 95 did have to come down the pit road again, so he's in 34th position. Kanan Biller in the 21st position. It is very possible that at this point, Kyle McLeese comes out of this race with a 2 race worth of a points lead. He's only 1 position ahead of Nicholas Samadillo, so Nicholas Samadillo is going to lose another point, so that'd be a 100-point gap back to Nicholas Samadillo. Kyle McLeese has been dominating the standings this year. I know it's been said a lot, but it's just true. As Smith caught up to the back of Rose for the moment, heading off into turn number 4. Now down into 5, Smith swings it wide. Harris still not able to get around Crown, as they got a little close there going through turn 2 to turn 4. Harris still not able to get around the Beyblade Blast Buick. As coming around for 4 laps to go, Rose slips a little bit. You see the tires are starting to wear a little more the later we get into this run. Rose at the line and ahead of Smith by 0.6 of a second ahead of that 22, so he actually increased his lead. I wasn't sure if he had or hadn't, and indeed he did. It's Ethan Lewis, 39th in the championship standings coming in. It's been a battle of last between him and Thomas Troxel as far as full-time drivers go for the standings, and Thomas Troxel runs in the 9th position actually. His teammate Ace Garcia got around him. So Troxel just barely clinging on to a top 10 right now, keeping his fingers crossed as here's McLeese going after Chase Harris. And Nicholas Samadillo going to join the party too in the 98. McLeese moves into the top 5. Samadillo trying to move into 6th around that 23. Side by side out of Monroe Ridge. Samadillo a little loose out of that corner. Into the sweeper, turn number 8. Harris holds on ahead of the 98. Samadillo's going to dive it in though. Into turn number 9. Samadillo's taking a look down low. And won't overtake that 23, at least for the moment. But up ahead, the gap for the lead closes again. Caleb Rose has led just about every single lap to this point. But Smith trying to steal away here late here at Willow Springs. He had a chance there going through 2 to get around, but not able to. He'll stay in behind that number 15 Mercedes AMG. Up the hill by Budweiser Balcony again. Dale Lightning sits comfortably in the 3rd position. Roberto Crown Jr. 4th. Kyle McLeese now up to the 5th position. Samadillo, Harris, Garcia, Troxel, and Nelson the top 10. Colin Teague just outside of the top 10. If he closes in on Troxel and Nelson here, this could be one hectic battle for a top 10 spot. But coming around for 2 laps to go here at Willow Springs. Smith still all over the back of the 15 of Rose. At some point, you figure Smith's got to have a chance. 2 laps to go here in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix at Willow Springs. Just a little over half a second, the difference between the 15 and the 22 at the line. Oh, Rose goes wide in the corner, almost off in the dirt. Could Smith have a chance to get to him closer before turn 4? Turn 4 is an excellent overtaking spot. Smith staying steady up by Budweiser Balcony and Taco Bell turn 4. Gets a little sideways on entry though. Now down the hill, off into turn number 5. Rose just trying to hold on for dear life. Trey Smith, a 2-time winner and defending series champion, looking to snap his winless streak that goes back to August 1 year ago. Coming around for the white flag. Kyle McLeese still runs comfortably in the 5th position. He looks like he's going to come out of here with a 2-race points lead ahead of everybody else as the white flag comes out here at Willow Springs. 1 more lap in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix. 2.5 miles. 55 100ths the difference at the line between Caleb Rose and Trey Smith in the 22. Smith taking a lower line through the rabbit's ear. Caleb Rose taking a little bit of a higher line. But both staying very smooth. Up the hill through 3. Smith gains a little bit. And into turn number 4. Rose takes the corner well. Smith not letting him get away. Down into turn number 5. Smith gains, charges in there deep. But that may have been his last real opportunity to get around this 15 of Caleb Rose, who has been dominant today. Started on the outside pole position and through the sweeper, turn 8. He's 2 corners away from his first career win in the Trinity River Cup Series. 1 last corner to go. Caleb Rose off of turn number 9. He'll join Ace Garcia as a winner for Team Velocity this year, and for the first time, the 15 goes to victory lane. Caleb Rose is a winner in the Trinity River Cup Series in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix at Willow Springs. All 3 Velocitar cars finishing in the top 10. Garcia 8th, Troxel 9th. Trey Smith finishes 2nd, Dale Lightning 3rd, Roberto Crown Jr. 4th. Sam Adio actually gets around Kyle McLeese for 5th. So McLeese back to 6th, Harris 7th, then Garcia, Troxel, and Brock Nelson round out the top 10 here at Willow Springs. Absolute domination by Caleb Rose in the 15. Big kudos to him. Trey Smith pulls up aside to congratulate. But here, just a moment, we've got some stuff to look back on. For one, that melee that happened earlier on in this race, and some other stuff that we missed along the way. Let's go back and take a look at that in our post-race Carnage Cam. So watching from overhead as they round turn number 9, Blake Parker's there on the inside of Eric Monaco. Hightower's going to slip wide out of corner exit and get into the side of Monaco and Thibodeau. Sends the 25 spinning. They'll just miss the end of the pit wall, as will just about everybody else. Well, literally everybody else. It was very close there at the end of pit road for Will Parrish, but the biggest damage there coming to Justin Zeidel's number 62 after he ran into Joey Hightower there just after the head of the pit attenuator. Let's move on to the next one. So this is actually two separate incidents, but here's Elijah Gordon getting into the back of Braden Perez, spinning the 47 around, and he'll not hit anything. So it looks all harmless here, but as Perez comes back out onto the racetrack, behind will come Eric Monaco. Bam! Slams right into the back of the 47 and sends the 25 spinning off into the dirt. And that pretty well ended Eric Monaco's day. So here's just coming out of turn 1, between turn 1 and 2. Kanan Biller, last week's winner, into the back of the car. He passed for the win 1 week ago. Elijah Gordon sends him off into the dirt bank, going through the rabbit's ear. And the 24 got a little bit of damage there, but was able to continue on. The same cannot be said, however, for Mitchell Collins, who just in front of the Gordon incident here on lap 14, he blows something on the 43 and comes to a stop just barely out of harm's way there on the right side of the racetrack. And remember wondering where Sam Adowskin got his damage from? Well, here's what happened on the same lap as the Gordon incident and the Collins miscue. He runs right into the back of Kanan Biller going up through turn number 4. And of course, at the end of it all, it was Caleb Rose taking the checkered flag here at Willow Springs. His first career win. He holds off the defending series champion to do it. Big congratulations again to Rose. Now, that's it for Carnage Cam. Let's go and take a look at your full race finishing results. So here are your finishing results here at Willow Springs. Caleb Rose wins by 34 100ths of a second over Trey Smith. Dale Lightning third, Roberto Crown Jr. fourth. Nicholas Samadillo gets the edge on Kyle McLeese for fifth. McLeese back to sixth, and then Harris, Garcia, Troxel, and Nelson round out the top 10. Scrolling through the rest of the standings here, Zidell and Hightower finishing over a minute behind Caleb Rose. Mitchell Collins finishing 3 laps down. Jacob Thibodeau 8 laps off the pace. And Eric Monaco fell out of the race earlier on. He'll be relegated to a 40th place finish. Monaco coming in 14th in the standings. This is not what the driver of that 25 car needed here at Willow Springs. But that is going to do it here at the fastest road in the West. Congratulations to a first-time winner, Caleb Rose in the 15. Your winner here in the Ridge Wallet Grand Prix at Willow Springs. We'll take a week off here, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time at the Nashville Superspeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee, to kick off the final 10-race stretch for Season 4. Hope everyone enjoyed the race. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Nashville. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.